All right, this is Ben.
I'm falling.
That was exciting. Dogs, stay. Don't get ice axed.
Rock, I'm fine. I'm fine.
He's like, are you okay? All right, you feel ready for Rainier and Everest?
Not even close. Should we do something different?
Here.
We're lounging in t-shirts, in jeans. So you might have noticed on the channel we haven't really released an episode in a bit because we've been super busy actually working on the van. I usually will edit all week and then I take 2 to 3 days to work on the van. But we had this big trip planned, an ice climbing trip. We were gonna meet up with some viewers, now friends of the channel, to go to North Conway and do some ice climbing for the first time. And before we left for that trip, we had a lot of things that we needed to get done on the van.
We had to set up electrical so that our heater would work. We wanted to hook up our solar panels so that the batteries would recharge and we wouldn't just be stuck with
Dead batteries.
And we wanted to finish insulating, and
we needed a bed. And we had to get framing in, and luckily our extrusion finally arrived and we could start doing that because our bed frame and our benches and our little kitchenette needed to be erected. So we spent a good 2 weeks up until the trip getting everything ready, and we almost got it all done, but the electrical wasn't quite there.
we are going on a trip to New Hampshire to go ice climbing, which we've never done.
Show us your crib.
Welcome to our house on wheels. This is our standing closet.
Sorry guys, the sun is everywhere right now.
Here's our kitchen.
Fridge.
But we have our fridge that works. It's all hooked up. It's not on, but it could be. And look, our lights.
You can flick those on. We have a switch up here. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
So we have lights, but then the biggest thing is the bed, which is a crazy canopy above it to keep the insulation from landing on us.
But we fit.
We have a fridge. We have heat, because we just got that wired up down to this little DC panel down here, which is all wired into our electrical. And then you can see right there, it's our only connection that we have. So we don't have any charging yet. We're gonna try to get the solar going once we get to Connecticut. Oh wait, and we'll show the gear. We have a garage.
Oh yeah, look at our garage.
And this is our garage space, filled with tools and electrical supplies, and then climbing and hiking gear.
I had to do another lap.
You guys excited? Oh, and look who's coming with us. Archer.
Off we go. Got it. Woo!
So it begins our journey to the East Coast. We really wanted to use this trip as a good testing for the van and what we've put in it so far. Because you really don't know how well something's gonna work until you're actually using it. Fuel prices are crazy right now. You see that? 90 bucks for 17 3/4 gallons. Got the heater running. Trying to figure out how to make it go longer than 120 minutes. And it's bedtime under our nice canopy. Rocky's already ready. Relly is afraid of the heater. Okay, so we're gonna get to bed and then get back on the road. Bye-bye. What was your fear?
And then we climbed in bed. And then suddenly panic crept in because the last video that we posted about the heater, we had a lot of comments of people saying that our exhaust was running like to the middle of the undercarriage of our van.
Which is where we were sleeping.
We needed to run it out to the side, or you know, exhaust fumes were gonna like seep up into the van and get to us. And as soon as I laid my head down, I thought, man, we're gonna die tonight.
She goes, oh, I'm short of breath.
No, I said something like, I can't get a full breath.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I'm probably just being paranoid. Do you think that we're gonna die tonight? Realistically,
no,
it wouldn't happen.
It wasn't a real
not
concern for me, but just to be safe, I killed it, and then I knew that the next day I would have to relocate that exhaust.
Our exhaust.
But for that night, we just slept in the cold again.
12 degrees that first night.
Yeah, it
Or
was
18.
pretty cold. It wasn't like terrible, but
It was cold.
Julie pulled the blankets off me, so I actually did get pretty cold. But I think we slept. I mean, we only had a few hours, and then we had to get back on the road since we had another 3.5 to 4 hours to get to Connecticut in time to meet up with them and then head out to New Hampshire. Breakfast. And so we finally got to meet up with Christina and David. I've met up with them and their 2 kids. When they came through Colorado, we met at a climbing gym and got to see each other in person. And David and Christina had helped me like find this van, and we've been in communication ever since. And so we had this whole plan to do this ice climbing trip because it's something that David used to do like every year. And so we finally made plans and got to Connecticut and met up with them. All right, now we let the dogs out and we go eat some lunch and maybe climb. All right. Look at this. What are we doing?
We're going climbing.
Gotcha. She's on the mountain. Oh.
Ew. Got a chance to try out some East Coast gyms, which are rated way tougher.
And their holds are all new, so they're pretty rough on the fingers. But as we were leaving, one of the guys there was nice enough to give us some hoodies, give us a little merchandise to rock.
Bam.
Boom. Reverse. Back. Prime climb. So if you're ever in the area, Wallingford, make sure to go check them out. And now we're gonna go let the dogs out of the park, and then we're heading off to North Conway to camp for the night in the van.
Oh, look, there's trees everywhere. Wow.
Lots of grass, lots of trees, rock. You know how you run into the playground, and then beyond the playground there's that weird parking lot? Parents drop off. David's van over here, and we're in our van, and then we've got some walkie-talkie communication. And that's Jordan. Could you text me the address?
Yeah, let me do that. That'd be a good idea.
Can you text us the address?
10 let's go, buddy.
Copy that.
Quarters. $2 even. We spent probably like 50 bucks in tolls on our way out.
All right, have a good evening.
Thank you.
What? She didn't give me a quarterback. Oh, she did?
Must have pulled this out of my ear.
Yeah.
They had their Easy Pass and we didn't have one.
Cash.
And so we'd have to pay and then like catch back up to them, but that's where the walkie-talkies really came into play.
Mile 84.
Mile 84, and we're at mile
82. That's our convoy, believe it or not.
That's on the left.
That's the right.
My left.
Once we got to North Conway, we went straight to a grocery store so we could stock up on some snacks and dinner items, and David was kind enough to cook us dinner in his van since we don't have a stove yet.
Yes, and the other thing, like while he was cooking, we were able to then go under the van and reroute our exhaust so we could have heat for the night without, you know, asphyxiation. So we did that, which we didn't film because it was freezing cold out and we did not want to be out there longer than we had to, and then went and ate some dinner.
Yo, dinner time.
Look at this setup.
Did you bring the salad dressing?
Yeah, a little bit there.
We've got bread, we've got salad, and we've got pastas.
That's good.
We're ready for the reveal.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yum, that was a great dinner.
That was so good.
This is the domestic side of van life that you don't want to see. I got a nice little foot pump. I'm trying to conserve my whole 10 gallons of water that I get the entire time that I'm up here. Tomato sauce is the only thing that's like terrible to clean up after.
Good thing that's what we went with.
Just so delicious. It's like the devil.
So we finished eating. I'm sure I look like a blue Martian. And we're on our way to the trailhead to stay for the night.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
she
take
just
my
farted.
pants
Did you
off.
hear that?
It was Rocky's burp, okay?
She farted, didn't she, Rock?
I admit when I fart. I don't know where we are. We're in the middle of the woods and we're on ice, but we chalked up a little bit and now we're gonna go to bed.
So that's that. We actually had
Oh
heat for
yeah,
the
it
night.
was like our first full night of heat. And it kept us toasty. It was good.
Yeah, we actually had to drop some layers once we had it running for a couple hours there, you know, in the middle of the night. It was like, ugh. But the second we
that.
turned it off, it got really
Cold.
cold. Like in 30 minutes, all that heat had dissipated. And it's like understandable, like our insulation wasn't completely done. And we don't have blackouts or
Yeah, our
a
windows
divider
are
for the
just-
cab. So a lot of heat just you lose it
Windshield.
there. And then the back doors too, those weren't insulated. So we did what we could. We stayed warm though. And then that next morning was really nice. But we're on a slight slope here. So these guys have these little like Lego style leveling blocks. You can see he's got them under both tires there. And then I just had to raise my back end. And these guys work pretty good.
Good morning.
Who's this? It's me, Rock.
Good morning.
Here's a bed of champions, I assume.
Oh yeah, my kids decorated that themselves. I got breakfast burritos for lunch.
Donuts. Oh man, he's gonna lose his.
He's like, oh my God, there's donuts.
So since it was our first time ice climbing, we didn't really know what to expect. We did a little bit of research and talked to David, who's done it before.
And so we got everything packed up and headed back to the town of North Conway and met up with our guide.
So Cheyenne walked us through all the gear that we were gonna need for the day, which are big old mountaineering boots, crampons, and then your climbing axe or your ice axe.
Low grip, you know, it rotates on your pointer finger.
We are now heading about 30 minutes away to go to the Frankenstein crag. I don't know if they call it a crag when it's ice, but that's what I'm calling it. I got boots, I got crampons, and helmets, and gree-grees, and rope.
Stay.
Or Vanessa Raptor claws.
Vanessa Raptor. Look at that. Look at that gear bag. We got ice axes, helmet, crampons, all my camera gear, bunch of other like layers, and then we got to fit food in there. So it was about a half-hour drive, you know, more driving of course, and we got there, packed up our stuff, and headed off to this rock face, ice face.
If that ice is in good shape there, that would be far and away the easiest to get to. And if one of you runs down here to check on the dog's lair, I mean, it's literally right there.
Okay.
Otherwise, we have to
Bye. so we're gonna try to head up right there.
I think that we'll have a good time. What are we doing?
We're ice climbing. We ended up at a spot that was very like beginner friendly. You know, we had never gone before, and David is pretty experienced, but Jordan also had only gone once before. So we were all kind of learning, and he didn't want to put us on something too intimidating. So we ended up on this like very slabby location that had a variety of climbing options.
I will yell if I knock something off that's like...
I would definitely be moving at that point.
Go surfing! Surfing USA! Before we had to go up, we had to get all sorts of like proper way to swing an axe.
Yeah.
And how to kick your feet into the wall. Dinner plate.
Dinner plate. You see the dinner plate?
Swing effectively at it. See if we can all get a good stick.
I'm stuck. I like this one.
And he's all yours.
Don't be a wine glass. One hand, tush, and you do your feet twice, boop, boop, and then the other one. All right, you can take. Here it comes. Yeah, that was good. All right, what do you got here?
This is what a new ice axe looks like. This is like what ice axes looked like when they were like, well, we should try climbing ice because we've never done it before.
You
This
guys
is
will
like
have to
half the
imagine
weight.
what it feels like.
I'm gonna do more than imagine. I'm gonna see what it feels like.
David had to up the ante and make it a little more difficult for himself and used like this original ice axe. And he did just a single one, which is like what, Alpine style?
Yeah, and it's
He
wooden.
he didn't use two, he just did the one. And so you have to be really conscious of your feet.
Of your feet. Yeah. My first one was like, this is super weird because I don't get to use my fingers. I like way overcompensated, so
Yeah,
I would like
sink it.
drive it so far into the ice, and then I couldn't get it back out. And then I'm wasting all this energy like trying to rip it out. And so I was like sweating, dead ass tired at the end of my first climb, and they were like, you were way overdoing it.
And then me, I felt like I was going so slow that I was just like barely putting it in. I was just going pop, peep, pop, pop,
And it
and
was
just
so
moving up.
fast.
Yeah, so I was going quick, and I probably should have focused more on my technique, but I don't know, I felt more connected to the axe. Like I didn't,
Yeah.
once I had it in, I
Yeah.
felt like I was good. You
Yeah.
know, I wasn't too worried. And plus your feet, it's like you're standing on a shelf. So I felt good. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Turn around. Woo!
All right, I'm good. Okay, so we've worked our way up, and now we are like into the trees over there. Can you see them? Up there-ish. Boom. And it's like vertical walls that we're training on now. We're learning. And it's a lot of like trusting your arms, trusting your feet, trusting your arms, trusting your feet, being fully extended. So it's like you squat down, you use your arms, and then you get a good feet position, then you stand up, and then you smack your ice axes in like way up, or your picks way up, and then you rely on those, and then you get squat down again and do your feet. But Julie's about to head up now.
I
You
wish I
ready?
no place to screw it. It was
Yeah, I'm a
locked
little
in the
scared.
screw.
I'm scared of everything, but that doesn't stop me. That one was probably the most fun one that I did.
Do you remember
'cause
the
it was,
technique?
Like, different. Oh yeah, with your pelvis and your butt. Yeah. It's a different technique, but that was like a lot of fun because you're not like climbing up like on an angle, like you're just straight up like a ladder.
I think like we got used to the idea of like the technique of it all, but then when you get to do the vertical stuff, it's far more concentrated, and it's not just like, okay, I've been up here for 15 minutes, I'd like to get done with this. We've got Julie over here on this vertical, and then we got David going up this side over here, a little more intimidating.
Totally a good time on a weekend.
And she's up and over.
Particular one does not.
How was it?
Fun. That was cool.
And so then I thought, cool. I saw David do the waterfall
Let's do it
one.
even harder.
Yeah, I want to try it. And so that was just being very careful. You know, you don't want to hit so hard that you're gonna bust through that ice that's coming down, but you don't want to hit so lightly that when you put all that weight on that axe, it's gonna pop off on you. But it only takes just a little bit to hold on, which I found out.
Woo! All right.
I like that. I think overall our experience there ice climbing was a lot of fun, and we really wanted to like go back out and do it again, which was our plan for the following day. You did it. How'd it go?
It went good.
Last climb.
It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. It's really in my head.
I think you could do that.
I could have probably hung to the right and made it, but I think it's okay because it was a confidence builder for me to hang to the left.
Now it's time to clean up.
Oh yeah.
And Cheyenne was a great teacher. Like, we had a lot of fun, but we learned so much, and we just picked his brain. Like, you picked his brain almost half the day.
I know, I asked him
about different
so many
places
questions.
and different techniques. So shout out to Eastern Mountain Sports and Cheyenne.
Yeah, if you're ever in the area, maybe request him. He's really good, and he's a fountain of knowledge. He will fill you in on everything. He's been doing it for years. So we had an awesome day of climbing, and we were done by like 4.
Yeah.
And then it was time to head back and bring our gear back and figure out what we were gonna do with the rest of the day. So we're back in the van for the night. We showered, we ate, we are parked, and we're all very tired. They're in bed. Sounds like we're gonna get into some rainy climbing tomorrow. We'll find out, because it might be too shitty. We just don't know yet. But we're gonna get to bed. That's all I was gonna say. Okay, bye-bye.
So the next day, we got up at the ass crack of dawn again.
Thinking
ate a
we were
little
gonna
food.
go climbing right away because we were trying to beat the crowd.
And we didn't hear any noise coming from David and Jordan's van.
I went over to the van and knocked, and I think I had just woken them up, and it turns out Jordan had come down sick. So we kind of decided, like, okay, climbing with the weather and his condition and everything probably isn't in the cards for the day. Our runner-up option was
Go for a hike.
And since we were so close to Mount Washington, why not give that a try? Okay, so if you look outside, it has turned into a winter snowstorm. We've only gone about like 20 miles, but we're starting to layer up and put our gear on. We're gonna get ourselves a taste of Mount Washington. Now this is typically, you know, something you wanna start early in the day. We started a little later so that we hit this snowfall rather than rain the whole time. We're gonna go a few miles up, see how it goes, and then work our way down, and we have to be back by a certain time because we have to return all of our gear anyways. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, this is kind of what we look like here.
Yeah.
We're decked out, head to toe, waterproof with goggles. It's wet out, and it's cold out. Got 'em.
The trail is 7.4 miles and 4,200 feet in elevation, which is a pretty lofty goal when you're starting at like 12:30 and the snow and the winds and all of that stuff.
So we knew that we weren't gonna be able to like summit. We just thought like, ooh, this might be a fun thing to try because they say Mount Washington is like a really good training area or experience for people who wanna like do something like Denali or maybe eventually Everest because the conditions are so wild. So we've only gone 3/4 mile. It's all uphill and it's wet. And since it was cold, like I did my best to film it on the GoPro, but every time I like pulled it out for too long, it would just freeze. And I have clips of it, it just stops. The GoPro keeps freezing, so I don't know if I'm getting any clips. But we're over 1.5 miles now. We keep sweating. I think this is freezing because it's cold. Did it freeze?
No rock.
So we filmed as much as we could, and then we started to head up Lion's Head.
Well, now we're at the split of the trail between Tuckerman's Ravine and going up to Lion's Head.
We had done like 2,000 feet of elevation, and it was a very
Feeling
wide
good.
trail. that was easy to navigate, and then we turn off and it's like, this is woods.
So we're going?
That's where we're going.
So we worked our way through that for a while, and then we hit a point where it's like, okay, it's starting to get a little steep. We should put our crampons on.
Yeah. Come on, bud.
Cool.
And we thought, okay, this is kind of doable where we were, where we put the crampons on, but then it was like another 100 feet, and then it was just trees.
Yeah.
Careful,
Whoa, 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 easy. This is straight up. So what was it, French technique?
French technique, front point in, sideways.
Okay.
Turn the
Front
trail,
point in.
then you
Okay.
turn. Ooh, dog it.
All right, I gotta focus.
Okay, what do we got here?
Waterfall up ahead. And we're concerned about the dog's ability to maintain traction.
Uh-huh.
Probably gonna wrap it up here. We got people rappelling down above us,
Yeah,
so we gotta get out of the way also.
yeah.
But it's pretty gnarly.
Yo.
Hello.
Trekking poles away,
Yeah.
ice axes out.
We reached a point where we can't really safely go farther with the dogs. It's way too steep and icy.
So now what do we got
We're
in our
gonna
hands?
turn around, use our ice picks.
This is for us now a fall arrest device. This looks like a fun place to demonstrate it.
Whoa.
All right, this is Ben.
All right, I'm falling.
Nice.
Okay, so we made it down the steep stuff. Now we're headed down to the vehicles. It just got too much, especially with dogs. We really only have like a mile to go.
Do I have buggers on my nose?
Yeah.
They're salty. Got cold. Look at the van. There we go. There we go. Go ahead.
Frozen.
The door was frozen?
Oh yeah, we couldn't get in.
Yeah, my guess is mine is too.
All right, we made it back. Now it's time to warm up and eat something.
Thank goodness.
We're about to head down. You can kind of see if you look out, the wind is really whipping. That tree used to stand straight up. We're gonna work our way down out of this like high wind area, return all of our gear because we don't want to like spend a bunch of extra money on rental, and then we're gonna have to find a spot to camp for the night. Go, 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 go.
What was that?
That was pointless. Maybe it did a little bit.
Headed down the mountain.
In the snow.
We'll be heading down the mountain in the snow.
There's some ice on the road and we don't know where to go because we have no GPS on this road.
We got back down, we returned our gear, and quickly realized that the spot we planned on camping that night was all the way back up where we just came from. So now we are driving 30 minutes back up the mountain to camp for the night, and we don't even know if it's gonna be like good
Accessible.
camping. Yeah, it could be plowed or snowed in, so we'll find out.
Probably gonna make them worse.
More low branches. There's one right ahead of us that is actually pretty level and deep.
This one's flat as a pancake, right?
All right, we found the camp spot, but there's definitely a good 6 inches. Ooh, snow. But we found a spot here.
This is like the most level I've felt all day.
Plenty big enough,
Yep.
and we'll be able to get out, hopefully, if it doesn't come pouring down tonight. Look at that diesel heater blowing out the side there. Look, we listened to people and made sure it wasn't exhausting out the bottom, like underneath it. All right, here we are. Check it out. We're in the giant van dry cleaner. Go to the neighbors.
Got frittata, Spanish rice, summer squash, and peppers, and fake meat. Yeah, it should be done in like 10-15 minutes. Oh my gosh.
Look at this.
Holy cow.
Recoup those calories.
You're slowing down.
It's
Really?
hearty.
Now I can pound through another half
Snow
or
way.
quarter.
Snow way.
That was it. You know, it was really quick. And time always goes by way quicker than you want it to, especially when you spend a lot of it driving.
Say,
and
we
then,
spent more time driving than we did anything else.
Yeah, we're headed your way and good to go. And I mean, it was still an awesome experience being able to take something we've been working on for weeks, months, and actually put it to the test. You know, the heating system was a big undertaking.
Yeah.
And just to see that it actually worked and kept us warm and it wasn't gonna like kill our system or anything like that was a big win.
Stop filming me.
And I think, you know, there's a lot that we still have to do. And going on the trip showed us like, okay, this is gonna be really important for us in the future to have. We got Rock in the back corner. We got Riley up here in the front left corner. Julie's on this center part, and then I'm on the very edge over here.
And ice climbing is probably something that we'll pursue in the future because we had so much fun. And you know, it's always nice to meet up with other people. Like I had never met David and Christina or Jordan, and they fed us.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a good experience.
And we have a whole bunch of other trips planned as well. Time goes quick, and we thought the van would be a lot further along by this point, but we're still gonna have fun in it regardless. Made it to the water.
And so if you're a viewer of the channel and you have an activity that you want us to come try and you're not a murderer, leave a comment.
Yeah,
Let us
reach
know.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, well guys, we appreciate you watching and being patient with the channel because it's been a while since we've got an upload. But you know, we gotta get out and have some fun sometimes too. And now we're going to stop recording this and then jump right back in to working on this van while we got some daylight. You guys just stay tuned for the next video, which will most likely be another build video. Okay,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye. Like, comment, subscribe,
You know.
stuff. What are you doing? Oh shit, dude.